Good afternoon, my fellow Lion brothers, big brothers, senior big brothers, and deans. This is Squire Slaughter, just reporting to you of my calls or interviews that I had with all my uh, big brothers, senior big brothers, and deans. I spoke with Big Brother Crunk. Just asked him casually, what's the last movie you watched? He said Nightmare on Elm Street. So I know he's like got a little horror film buff in him, so that was cool to hear. I also wanted to know, did he recall 9/11? He had an interesting story where he was at for 9/11. I actually was in high school, already in a delayed entry program when he found out about 9/11. And of course, right at that point, he knew he was getting ready to go in, so he knew war was probably to follow, which had to be a pretty crazy thing to be a senior in high school with that going on. Asked him, was he a fantasy football fan? Not that much, because he's a big college football fan, but he did start a fantasy football team this year. Senior big brother first liftoff. I asked him, being from Chicago, I wanted to know if he was into house music, and he was stating no. He stated no, but he's into R&B, so that's his main genre, R&B. His favorite TV show of all time is Martin, so you get a oh for that. And then I asked Senior Big Brother first lift off, what is the one misconception that people have about you? And he stated interestingly that that he's tall. So when I found out about his height and all that, I was shocked too. But at the same time, you're standing tall with us, my brother. Big Brother Brutal. I told him that was a tongue twister to me, but it was a good conversation with him as well. I asked him what's his number one go-to song. He said number one by Nelly, and that's tied into something else. As far as his track skills, he ran track in college. I went to LSU and University of Louisville, and that song was his hype song before he went out there and burned it up on the track field. So number one by Nelly. The last community service work that he performed was basically clean up for his royal court. They did adopt a highway program, which is cool. And I asked him who was his biggest influence growing up. He stated it was his big cousin, his dad, and his track coach. Big Brother Hyperdrive, I wanted to know from him what is his biggest fear, and he stated basically not having tasks completed. I asked what's his best advice to give all of us across the line successfully. He said just to keep it simple, which is a simple statement but powerful, and we need to take heed to that. I asked what's one word that describes him best, and he stated hyper. Did you think anything else? Thus hyperdrive. But again, it was a pleasure talking to him as well. Dean Primetime, I asked him what's his passion. He said pool, and it's just not regular pool and billiards. Dean Primetime is in tournaments out here taking all the money. So if anybody want to play pool with Dean Primetime, pick somebody else. I asked him what's his favorite quote. He stated his favorite quote is "Love everybody, trust nobody." Had a lot of meaning behind it that he discussed with me at length. It's a quote that I'm going to have to steal from him and incorporate myself, because I live by that creed. And I did ask him Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe. I knew the answer. Well, I knew what I wanted to hear, but he gave me the answer I wanted to hear. Of course, Jordan. Would there be anybody else? That was my interview that I had with all my big brothers, senior big brothers, and deans. Have a good one.